You may have heard a lot about the things I can do, whether it's solving Rubik's Cubes, making origami, making cool drawings or designs, or being such a huge nerd. I have a healthy family, made a lot of close friends, and have supporters like you. It's easy to think that I have it all, but I was like many of you, lost, confused, misunderstood, and labeled to be dangerous. I didn't understand the world. I didn't know where I belonged and how to fit in. I have a lot of mental problems that I tolerate on a daily basis. I have high functioning autism, ADHD, asthma, and a lot of stupid allergies. People don't know how to act or respond other than the fact that they aren't aware. I don't normally tell people because I don't want to be treated differently, but it backfired on me anyways because, well, I was still treated differently. Throughout my elementary and middle school years, I was bullied a lot. I was often told that I was too different, weird, and creepy, but nobody told me what was socially acceptable. So, making friends was one of the biggest challenges. And because I didn't have friends, I would find a lot of hobbies to keep myself occupied. But nothing stuck out as much as my first instrument I picked up in 4th grade. At first I was unsure about playing the violin, but now it has immersed me into the world of music. It has given me a personality, and the instruments I've learned to play over the years has become a part of me. It has defined who I am now. My name is Job Saunders, and I am the Violin Shredder.
Are you ready to get wild? Jump!
It's crazy to think, but I re-recorded the electric guitars in every single song in my album like 3 or 4 times. So, it is 7:55 in the morning, and it's been quite a trip with some of the recordings. I realized why the guitar sounds the way it is. I was recording it in mono from stereo software, which can do mono, by the way, but I think it sounds a lot better stereo and just sounds a lot more full. So I actually had to rewire some things around. It is going into the box and channeling out into the board stereo. So it's actually stereo this time and actually sounds good. That also being said, I have to re-record everything. So yeah, you know, it's worth it. It's worth it. There were two instruments involved with Project Shredder, which involved changing the way they sound and the way they looked. So one of them was the electric violin. Basically what I did is I just took the first 4 strings of my 7-string guitar and installed it on the electric violin, dropped it down an octave from standard tuning on the violin, and then I just kind of tweaked around with some software and then got it to make it sound like this.
Alone, zombie! Come on! Alone, zombie! Come and take it! I'm a started! I am going in it! Come and bring it! Come and break this! I'll suffer through it! Even if this means I die trying! I'm Leonidas! I will fight for this! In the holding back we will go in a blitz! If you want this, so be it! But when it comes to the end, you will regret this! That's never gonna change. No, that's never gonna change. You can take all the things away, but you don't have what it takes. No, you don't have what it takes. I can't hear you! That's more like it. Hey, there's going to be a time in our lives that someone's going to take those things away, the things that we love, the things that we care about. By the time that comes, I want you to be reminded of tonight. The time I tell you to not go down. Not without a fight! If you want to take a big boy, man, get there now, everything you love. If you don't have anything else you won't take, I would be giving the very best. I did not go down, not without fight. You don't even know how hard it is to fight. Just for you, it's my blade that runs through your reckless mind. You take everything away, but that's never done. No, that's never done. You take all the things away, but you don't have blood. No, you don't have blood. You take everything away, but you don't have blood. No, you don't have blood. Everyone get up. Come on. Let's have some interaction. We're gonna make a deal, all right? I'm gonna count to 3. I wanna see all of you jump, all right? You guys ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, jump! That's more like it.
I wanted to make my heavy metal music sound different from others, but not to the point where it just sounded bad. And that's kind of where it was during that time. I couldn't figure out the sound I wanted for my electric guitars. Not everything was fully mixed to my liking. I was still having to play around with some mixing ideas, and it just wasn't there yet. So that's the reason why I pushed it. And I came up with another idea, and that idea was, what if I made these songs acoustic? And some of them sounded great acoustic, some of them I just felt like it was better either electric or just something else. So then it started to be this huge mashup, and then becoming phases. So I was working on phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1 was complete up until the summer, and that was for the first album release. And phase 2 was supposed to be for my second album, which is the one I've actually been working on for the most of the time, because I did not realize how difficult it is mixing heavy metal genre. Not to say that acoustic is easy, but I knew I needed to start somewhere to feel more confident in my mixing and how I wanted everything to sound and so on and so forth. I had the idea of making an acoustic version and electric version for the albums. I didn't want to make the same exact songs, just different versions of the genre. I wanted to add some more variety because I just felt like it'd be a little childish if I, had two albums but they're all the same composition, when I know I can do more than that. So I added some extra songs to my first album and my second album. That's what I was working on over that summer, for the most part, was getting in those songs, getting some of the acoustic versions in, but also coming up with some creative ideas that I think would work or fit better with the first album than with the second album. Because the first album, I wanted it to be more, not only just acoustic, but to have some more, that feels more alternative. But the second album, I wanted to definitely make it more heavy metal, alternative metal, however it is you want to call it. And I really wanted to go all out on that one. So wanted to really bring out a balance between those two and also show how much variety I could put in with the genres in my music and what I compose. I think I made a great decision in doing that, because there are some songs that I made for the first album that just kind of came out of nowhere. I just started coming up with some song ideas as usual, and really liked this one idea for a song I made, which was called Worth Fighting For. And that was kind of a last minute song I put in my first album that I recorded, and I was really happy with how that turned out. There are some other additions that I made in the first album that makes it different from the second album. And then I also added some things in the second album that are more heavy metal. So there are some acoustic and electric versions that are the same composition, but I think I added 6 more songs for one of each to make it more different. So then there's something different that you could listen to instead of just same thing, just different styles of genre.
Let's kick it up a notch.
hard to believe you love me when they all say the same. How do I know it's real this time when everyone lies? Everyone has crossed this line. Of all the people, will you save me tonight? Will you save me tonight? All the people, will you save me tonight? Of all the people, will you save me tonight? Of all the people, will you save me tonight? I can feel it beating. It skips a couple just for you. All I wanna do is be with you forever. We both thought our lives. Would you mind sharing yours with just mine? I don't mind if we watch the sun rise and fall together. Above the fish in the sea, you're the one that stuck out to me. And I hope you know that you don't have to change anything. You shot your arrow through my heart. This love brought me out of the dark. When I see your eyes, they light up the skies. I stay a little longer just to see what this holds. Your love and your kindness has given me this warmth. I don't want to let this go, but I wanna let you know if there's one thing I learned before I go, it's that love never dies. You're my lullaby. You stick by my side. The mistakes we make bring out the laughs we had those days. You may think you're a mess, but I think you're the best. Of all the fish in the sea, you're the one that stuck out to me. And I hope you know that you don't have to change anything. You shot your arrow through my heart. This love brought me out of the dark. I am the night and you are my only shooting star. Stay a little longer just to see what this holds. Your love and your kindness has given me this warmth. I don't want to let it go, but I wanna let you know if there's one thing I learned before I go. I cannot get enough of you. Every time I see you, my heart breathes through. Letting you in was the best risk I took in my life. I never wanna say goodbye. Please tell me this won't be the last time. If there's one thing I want you to know, love never dies. For the first you harm me, you are my one and everything. And I hope you know that even when some things don't go our ways, I will be here for you always, even through all of our bad days. In the end, oh, what makes every second worth my entire life. I stay a little longer just to see what this holds. Your love and your kindness has given me this warmth. I don't want to let it go, but I wanna let you know there's one thing I learned before I go. It's a love never dies. Love never dies. Love never dies. Love never dies.
Give it up for Shigeru.
Thank you.
can't hear you, Iowa!
Mixing plays a huge role in music technology, more than I thought, mainly because it helps you give that element that you want in your music. What I like to call it is sound signature. You know, you're able to pick up, or you're able to name off the band's name based off just the sound signature from their music and the mixing part of things. And I remember my sophomore year in the summer, I would just spend hours in the recording studio just figuring out how to mix. I would look up YouTube tutorials on some of the sounds that I liked and some of the ideas that people had, the way they mixed. And mixing drums, that was also a tricky thing. Drums, man, it's a nightmare sometimes. Around my third year, that's when I started feeling more comfortable and confident that this is what I want things to sound. And you know, it used to be endless hours of just mixing one song, and now it only takes me like 2 to 3 hours just to mix a 40-track song, and it's definitely helped me improve and figure out what plugins I like to use, how I use them, and kind of my roadmap or like a layout of what it is I want in my mix and how I will mix it. I was really bad with name titles at the time, so one of the songs I made just kind of sounded really epic, and I didn't know what to call it until I was like, wait, this could be the song about storms, because I always wanted to make a song about storms, like a song about overcoming your fears and like going into the storm, and I was like, that's it, that's why I call it, Into the Storm. And yeah, just kind of took off from there, and you know, started off with the recording in GarageBand. I just started getting more creative the more I started making it, and it started coming to life. So I would go outside and get recordings of thunder, like really violent recordings, and I would just implement it into the song and make it sound epic. Give it up for Dr. Klee. All right, everyone. For this one, I want you to stand up. I know, it's hard work. Ugh. Oh my gosh. I want you guys to go crazy on this one, all right? I want you to give everything you got. Midterms, whatever it is that has been ticking you off all day, I want you to bring it. You guys ready? Bring it! Get down on the ground now. Everyone, get down right now. Yeah. When I say bring it, I want you guys to jump, go all out, and bring it. When I say bring it, you bring it. All right? Sound good? So when I say bring it, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, on my signal. Bring it! hope this inspires you guys to take those risks in life, to go big, go all out. Don't be afraid to do something that nobody's ever done before. You never know. It could be your greatest success or your greatest failure. One way or another, that failure is going to get you to learn how to become successful.
Here's the thing, bullying sucks, okay? I've been bullied for 15 years of my life. This isn't normal to me anymore. For the longest time, I've had people told me that I'm better off dead, that they don't want me around, that they don't care, that I'm better just staying in my house doing nothing. I've had friends who turned against my back, who told me that they can't, who told me that I can't, told me that I don't have what it takes, and told me that I'm better to just burn. These people wanted to watch me burn, and for the longest time I wanted to get my revenge back on those people. That was until later on, in a random night, I opened the book of Matthew. It was chapter 5, verse 44, and I was thinking, it says in that verse, to love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. I didn't know what that meant because I opened that up when I was a kid, until now. Because guys, we're not gonna win this war with hate and more fights and war, okay? This war started with love. It's going to end with love too. So next time someone wants to watch you burn, let them believe that, because for one, it's going to make you stronger than they will ever ask for. And two, God's got something for you and me that's better than anything here. So tell them to go ahead and watch me!
Expected you to ever forgive me. I didn't come here just so I can live and die. We came with purpose, but you tell me otherwise. I'm sorry you hold such anger in your heart. I know you only want to tear me apart. So go ahead and watch me burn. I will rise above these ashes. So go ahead and watch me burn. In the end, I still win. I will win. How you treated me, you only seek victory with the mask in front of me. You look for friends that can support your side, talking behind my back, but can't say it to my face. When you take those things away, it's just you and me. You're not strong enough to face me on your own. You're a coward that likes to hide in the shadows, but I'm glad that you came to take me on your own. I knew from 1,000 miles away you were tracking every step I take. I guess you were eager, waiting for this day. So go ahead and watch me burn. I will rise above these ashes. So go ahead and watch me burn. In the end,
Give it up for Diane.
You know, throughout my life, I was always scared of being treated too differently. And then looking back at it, I realized it's not so bad. That taking the risks in your life are what's going to make you stand out from the others, and trying those new things. And that's definitely what Project Shredder has been about. Doing something that nobody has ever done, taking those risks in life, and enjoy listening to the music just as much as I did working on it. And I think that is the beauty of music. It just really brings people together. Shred on.